So tell us about the product roadmap. How is it looking from where we're sitting right now?
Very rich. Good things ahead.
Good.
So for example, early on I mentioned the video analytics. And I also mentioned that we had acquired a company called IO-Image, and I mentioned also what we just released in our new high-definition cameras. Well, now our next step in our product roadmap is to take all of our great DVTel IP cameras and now integrate that technology with our world-class video analytics. So we'll be, in the next year ahead, we'll be merging those two together so that now the users will have a far greater selection of platforms that they can run that video analytics on. So that's a critical direction for us. For example, all of our cameras are H.264 and have those other compression, have those other features that I mentioned to you earlier, wide dynamic range and three-dimensional noise reduction and many other things like that. To have all those cameras all support all the video analytics, like outdoor intrusion detection, object removal detection, and vehicle movement detection, and these kinds of things will be a great boon for our customers. So that's a major thing on our roadmap. Another one is interesting is all of our software, of course, needs to run on a computer, right? And so today, principally, we either resell or our customers use standard off-the-shelf servers and storage. Servers, let's say, from Dell, for example. What we've seen is a real demand there for, I'll say, a tighter integration of the hardware with our software. And so we've actually been working with manufacturers, example Dell, to come out with a solution, still I'll say commercial off-the-shelf solution, but more honed, more focused to the specific functionality that a video surveillance system needs to support: the recording of video, the playback of video, the streaming of millions of bits per second, and so forth. So we've spent a lot of time with them honing in on a tighter configuration, and probably speaking a little early, but we will be coming out with a branded version of that hardware. It'll still be, quote, powered by Dell, but it'll actually say DVTel on the hardware, because it'll be a very specific configuration that we've now requested and tested and designed for. So that's another thing that's coming down in the roadmap.
That's really interesting, Paul. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a step ahead in terms of partnering with the power that companies need to use your products.
Precisely. And then there are others for, I'll say, for higher end type of higher end installations, higher end meaning large scale, not so higher end, but large scale, large storage installations. We have several partnerships with major storage manufacturers, and some of those are maturing into very much tighter integration. So those are some things that we'll be talking about also in the months ahead that are in our roadmap.
Wow. A lot of things going on at DVTel.
Yes, there are. Yes,
Never resting.
Never a dull moment.
Well, I recently read that you also have some corporate changes. I understand after a long tenure, your former president has left and has taken you guys to a path that has been very successful for you. But I understand he's stepping down, and so you have a new president who will be taking over the helm. Tell us a little bit about what that's going to mean for customers and the company at large in the future, and what is that going to mean for people?
I think, of course, like anything, time will tell.
Right, sure.
Because Yoav Stern has now been with us, it's still a little under 2 months. But if you look at a show like this here, he had a calendar that was booked, I think, every 20 minutes, 30 minutes with another customer kind of a visit. And number one for him was reassuring customers, DVTel is here to support you, and DVTel will continue to support you well in the years ahead, whether with support, with new product development, with enhanced product roadmap, and the like. So he is clearly committed to that. Other things that just observation in the last several days is I've seen him bring to the table a number of other technology partnerships. some maybe that we really hadn't even thought of in the past. So I think this is going to be interesting for us, which will, again, in the example I used before with the storage, bring together some tighter integrations, which will help certain vertical market segments with a tighter solution, meaning the DVTel video surveillance system with, for example, someone else's product. I don't want to start naming those, but someone else's kind of a product today, and bringing a tighter solution. So he is clearly very customer-centric. Internal in the company, he is clearly very focused on proper process and structure to scale this business. DVTel has enjoyed very good growth for many, many years, and he has high goals for yet even higher growth, higher percentage of growth.
That's a good thing.
So it's a good thing. So, and I think he's not just cracking a whip to do it, I think he's actually bringing some tools to do it with too. So we're all
good.
excited.
Yeah, bringing some new partners and technology partners or other partners from other sectors, right?
Precisely, and also other markets. You know, DVTel is a global company. We're in markets around the world, from Asia, in Australia, in Singapore, in Malaysia, Indonesia, India, but there's countries that we're not as active in. And he's actually bringing some relationships from those companies from his previous experience that will also help us expand into other countries. I mean, I'll mention one, for example, which is Japan. Well, we've done only very little over the years. Now I see we'll have a greater focus there. But there are other countries of similar type of a nature because of his previous experience. He has several years of experience in our industry, but he comes as a CEO for probably 20 years worth of CEO experience at other high-tech type of companies, somewhat related, closely related, as a type of company, as well as several years in the industry. And he's, as a result, very, very well connected. And we see, we're excited.
Well, it sounds like there's going to be some good big changes afoot.
Yes.
With some surprise announcements, perhaps down the road.
Could be. With
some good new technology.
Stand by.
Yeah. Well, we can't wait to see and hear. I know. Well, we talked a little bit about the purchase of IOImage, and that was in early 2010. That must have been about a year. Yeah,
yep.
Just about a year ago.
Yep.
And as is the case when you integrate one company's culture into another, there's little glitches and some time that it takes to transition things, but it seems like you guys have sort of figured that out pretty quickly and have moved forward. Anything to report on that?
Well, one thing I'd say, we've done 4 acquisitions over the last 4 or 5 years. I will say this has been our best. Okay, so it's most successful in integrating the two companies. Let's suffice it to say, you learn from your previous experience.
That's very true.
If you get my gist.
Yes, I do.
And so, and the good thing was, I think people in this case, on both sides, were very, very motivated. The folks from IOImage are on us every day, on everybody in the DVTel company. Why aren't you selling more? Get out there and sell more. Introduce it to this customer, introduce it to that customer. And I think that's been very, very good, that kind of a push. And then vice versa is IOImage came to us. I mean, they're a multi-million-dollar company with many, many partners around the globe. So all of a sudden, we have partners now in places where we didn't previously have partners. So we're able to now bring DVTel video surveillance systems to companies that before were just buying the IOImage equipment, for example. So it's worked out very successfully. I mean, some of the biggest things was the merging of manufacturing lines. Woohoo, was that painful? And supply and demand and everything else. I personally was not involved in that,
different cycles,
the
right?
operations
process,
team,
yeah.
had to work through that and taking what was being manufactured for IOImage by one manufacturer, bringing it into the DVTel manufacturing line. Let's just say it was no small task.
No.
But people worked hard and
got it done.
With maybe a little bit of difficulty during the transition, but
to be expected, though.
Yeah, to be expected.
Sure.
That's well behind us, and very happy with the result. So. We're very excited about it, and there's a lot of players in the industry, a lot of commonality of capabilities, good companies out there. The IOImage video analytics gives DVTel a clear, strong differential advantage in the market. There is you know, I speak almost as a third party to say it's a
yes.
world-class type of a solution.
Yep.
So I'm not bragging about our product, it's their product.
What they had developed,
Which
right.
happens to be ours now.
Yeah, right. Well,
but the point is that they are the world's leader in outdoor intrusion detection, and time and time again, shootout after shootout, we win. You know, recently there's been some video analytics companies, they've announced things like auto calibration capabilities. We've tested against them. IO Image wins, hands down, again, again, and again. So we're very, very pleased with the acquisition, and it really brings us a very high-end, professional, you know, very capable, successful company to our team. So very pleased.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a very good complementary arrangement.
Yeah, it is. And I can't tell you the percentage, but maybe before I would have thought, you know, of any of our video surveillance systems, how many, what percentage of them want video analytics? You want 5%, you know? Well, you know what? Maybe it's, now I'm saying maybe it's 10%, and maybe it'll be 15%, because now that we own both, we can better package both. You see stuff on the show floor of what we've done to integrate the video analytics tighter into our video management software platform. And you know what? It becomes more appealing, and price points are very good for it. And all of a sudden, the uptake in the market starts to, you know, the percentage of customers who want that as well increases. So, as I say, we see only good times ahead for it. And I spoke of the roadmap where we're going to be merging the analytics into our own cameras. And so we see good stuff.
No, it sounds like you guys are doing a lot of the right things at the right time and realizing growth from it, good customer loyalty. Bringing brands together can sometimes be a challenge, but it seems like you've gotten through that as well. Yeah, well, that's good to hear. And if people want to learn more about DVTel and the products, where should we send them on the web?
On the website, it'd be a good place to go to www.dvtel.com.
And that's exactly as it sounds. Capital D, capital V, tel.com. Great. Well, thank you, Paul. I appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thank
I
you,
know
Beth.
you've probably had a busy couple of days, and appreciate it, and hopefully you'll come back next year and talk about some of these great new technologies and products that you're
We look forward to
hinting
it.
about. Thanks very much.
Thank you
nice
very
meeting
much.
you.
Appreciate it.
Take
Likewise.
care.